Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today I've got my client Ollie, who's been working with me through the 12-week program, the trifecta trading approach, and he's done really well. So I had to get him on and talk a little bit about his journey and how it's helped him. Welcome, Ollie. How are you, mate?
Yeah, hi, then. Yeah, good, thank you. How are you?
Good. You're not too bad. Not too
Good.
bad. So yeah, tell people a bit about your background, your journey before working with me. How did it all start and what did
Yeah,
you get up to?
yeah. So I've been analyzing the markets really since around COVID time, I think, when the
Uh,
stress of COVID came into everyone's life, and I thought how vulnerable you were with just a single income from your job, that I realized I had to take it upon myself to put it in my own hands. And that's when I, yeah, discovered trading. And obviously, it's quite a daunting place to start when you first look at the markets. There's a lot of information out there online, YouTube, baby pips, all sorts of websites and forums and all sorts. So you just learning everything and anything you can when you first start and trying everything out. And then I think quite quickly, a lot of people drop off because, yeah, it's obviously very hard to become consistent and profitable. And you don't really know where's the right way to look, where's the right direction. And that's where I think obviously getting after, I think a lot of people are very determined to go their own way, as I was. And if you can be successful by just going it alone, then, good on you. But I think a lot of people do need a lot of bit of extra help, like myself, which is where I came across Alan on Instagram and saw the content, and it really appealed to me and, yeah, spoke to me as to what you were talking about, especially on the psychology side of things. As I thought that's where I mainly needed the help. I thought, I could pick up on a strategy and to back test it wasn't the hardest thing. You could see results, but yeah, when you're trading live and you've got the mental blockers and things like that, you've got to work through. I think, yeah, that's where a lot of people need some support and guidance. And yeah, that's when I decided to take the next leap of faith on my journey and come to you, Alan, and yeah, work with you on this program.
Brilliant. So yeah, COVID was a big shock for everyone. I've seen a lot of people wanting to trade that COVID hit. It was a big shock to the system, when everyone just lost jobs, and yeah, I can totally understand that. And yeah, you went through the jungle of baby pips and new chief strategies, trying to do it on your own. And yeah, it's easy to get lost a bit. So yeah, I understand that. So why did you decide to join the program, and what did you hope to achieve, Ollie?
I decided I wanted a mentor more than anything. I wanted someone that's proven themselves in the markets, especially someone that was focusing heavily on the mindset side of things. I didn't necessarily just want to find someone that was going to teach me another strategy and then let me be on my way. I wanted to get into the crux of how can I improve my mindset to be a trader's mindset ultimately, because I think that's probably the hardest, or one of the hardest things about it. So yeah, that was the main reason why I decided to join the program. Yeah, to focus on that side of things.
Brilliant. So how was your experience with the one-to-one calls we had? Let's talk a bit about the results. How have they been?
Yeah, really enjoyed the one-to-one calls. Yeah, obviously we started very early on the psychology and the mindset, and you had very specific exercises which you have to do the work on yourself. The one-to-one calls are great. You set me up on my way, but really the hard work comes from me doing those exercises and
Yeah.
doing the work in the background. But then what I found really good was that every week, even if you start to stray off a little bit, you might struggle in some ways. Every week I'd come back and it would be a grounding point. You'd I'd always leave a call feeling more confident and reassured than the previous call. A week goes by, if you miss a trade or something, and you can see those insecurities or whatever can kick in, then we come back and we assess, we talk through it together. And yeah, it was just really good knowing that I had a call coming up and that we could talk through any issues that I had that week. And yeah, and then by now we've done 12 weeks. Those kinds of problems have faded away a lot more. And so, yeah, we've been more just having a lot more analysis chats more than anything in the more
Yeah.
recent week, because we've really broken through, I think, a lot of those barriers at the beginning.
Yeah, I agree. At the beginning, it's all about creating that momentum. Every week we build on something, build on it, especially on the mindset side. And yeah, usually halfway through, we usually got everything down. And then it's just a matter of keeping things in check, sticking to the techniques and the system and all that stuff. And like you said, towards the end, it's just mainly we're just looking at the strategy, looking at analysis together and stuff. It's quite more chilled, isn't it? Because we've done all that hard work. More so to you as well, because you make sure you come to every single call. You never missed it. You always turned up. And that's really important on your side because you can help build that momentum.
Yeah.
Not saying there's anything wrong with it, but when you have calls sometimes with people and if they miss a week and then you have to wait 2 weeks for that, it breaks that momentum up a little bit. With you never did that. And I think that's a big advantage to building everyone, especially on the mindset side. Because like I always say, when we work on that detachment part of things, detachment from triggers, it's a muscle. We have to keep showing up and doing the reps, building that strength. It's like if we miss a week at the gym, the next week's even harder. It's hard to get back into it. Yeah, well done to you there, Ollie. You did really well. Yeah, glad you enjoyed that. Let's talk a little bit about the psychology side of things. What did you think of the psychological training we did together?
Yeah, it was good. It was different to than what I'd expected
Yeah.
or what I'd done in the past. I didn't really know what was out there ultimately. Like you do a lot of research online and you try a lot of different things, meditation and visualization,
Classic.
yeah, classic.
Yeah.
They're really good in their own way and they're all really important, but they don't necessarily tackle the issue at hand, I think, a lot of
Yeah.
the time. Um, I think, and they're quite difficult to master in themselves. Even if you are doing them, you have to, yeah, be doing it quite consistently and probably even get some help and support on there. But you came at it from a different angle, something I'd not seen or done before. And yeah, obviously I practiced the techniques week on week and yeah, found that they helped a lot, not even just in trading, but in everyday life. And I think that's one of the main things with trading is people see it as its own thing, but really it really goes hand in hand with what you do in your everyday life, how you respect yourself, how you look after yourself, how you deal with relationships with other people and your job at or your any other work that you do, the discipline and that you put in, everything is all interconnected ultimately. Yeah, it's really important that what we learn on the psychology side of things, that I took it away and I applied it to all areas of my life. And that probably in itself just helped my trading anyway, even
Yeah.
just not just doing it on the trading side.
Yeah, that's right. If you improve your life, it improves your trading, doesn't it? All reflects back in. If you're happy, not stressed, it leaks back into the trading. Happy trader is a good trader. But yeah, like you said, I hit things at a different angle. You mentioned them classic things that you hear a lot of coaches use, like visualization, meditation. All sounds good, but they don't solve the root problem. They're just band-aids. What we work on is accessing how to detach from triggering thoughts, how to have a healthier mental framework to reduce stress and anxiety and things like that. And people never really believe what we do together and how much it does help, but it
Yeah.
really doesn't it? But can you think of a moment where you successfully detached from triggering thoughts and how did you feel? Can you remember the first time it happened?
A distinct time that it happened was when I missed that trade on the Bunds. I don't know if you remember, and I was
Yes.
emailing you
Yeah.
about it because
Yeah.
we had a quite a slow start to the trading strategy, which you showed me, and which I took on, and that was the path that we took from a strategy perspective.
Yeah.
And obviously, being a daily time frame strategy and completely rules based, there's only so many trades you're going to take in a week or a month or what have you. And we
Yeah.
happened just to start at a bit of a slow point in the markets, which in
Yeah.
hindsight's a good thing, I would say.
Yeah.
If you can get through the bad times, then you can enjoy the good times. And I think that's where a lot of traders struggle, and it's just to get through those bad times. But yeah, so I'd had quite a few losses in a row and quite a few break evens. My overall count was only maybe 3 or 4% down, but across maybe my first 10 trades, and I was just really waiting for that first winner to come.
Yeah.
And again, it was with the strategy, it was a case of you might have no trades for 4 days and then there might be 3 trades all in one day. And I think it was a day like that where one of the trades I happened to miss, I just didn't see it,
Yeah.
which happens to everyone.
Yeah.
And that was the trade that shot off to take profit in literally one day. I think the next day it would have hit TP. And yeah, that definitely played on my mind. But then it was quite quickly because I'd done a lot of the detachment training. It ruminated in my head a few times over within literally like half an hour even. I was able to just walk away from it and I was happy to accept what had happened and move
Yeah.
on and not let it, yeah, kind of ruin my process or where I was. And by the next day, I was back on form and looking for the next opportunity.
Yeah. Love it. I remember that like it was yesterday, mate. Yeah. But yeah, you're going to miss trades, and you're going to lose trades. These things happen. If you haven't got that right mental framework to deal with it when they do happen, you're going to struggle. And that's where most traders go wrong. When you can learn to detach from a triggering thought, you miss a trade, okay, it's going to sting for a little bit. But once you can detach and then come back to your trading and be in a calm state again, you're going to keep trading well, aren't you? And that's exactly why we do it. And that's also why we use the higher time frame, because it gives us plenty of time to detach from the triggers, doesn't it? You said that one took maybe half an hour. Okay. Let's say you're trading the 1 minute and you've got a trigger that takes half an hour to detach from. You're just going to struggle, aren't you? So that's why we use them high time frames. So if it down, put the odds in our favour. It's a big part of trade is adapting to these things. So yeah, that was really good seeing you detach from that and come back from it. And I said to you when we first started, because you literally started when we hit a drawdown. I said, look, Ollie, this is the best thing that can happen to you starting a drawdown. To work with me, there's no better place than in a drawdown, just where you can really do the work. And as you've proved now that, yeah, it was a good thing for you. Because that was the thing that helped me. Once I first overcame a drawdown, that's where I gained confidence. That's where I really think things took off. When you can handle it, when you can trust yourself, you've got the skill set, there's no stopping you. But yeah, another part of this, not just the psychology side, understanding the strategy is also important.
Yeah.
Overcoming drawdowns. So when we first started, I got to do a lot of testing, didn't I? Test the system, get to know your stats, your data,
Yeah.
and see how it performed over the long run. Would you say that gave you a lot of confidence in these drawdown periods?
Yeah, 100%. It's the first time I'd ever taken on or had ever studied a full 100% mechanical system. I don't know if I'd ever even looked into it or was even aware such system even existed. It was always a case of you'd have set rules but there was always a level of discretion to a trade. And I think again that's where a lot of traders struggle. So to have something that was completely mechanical, black and white, it made it very easy to test. Obviously, you've got to put the hours in, you've got to go through all the different markets, and you've got to understand the statistics. But yeah, you've done that hard work. You can see the data in front of you and the results. Then it really does it. It gives you that confidence. I back tested. I think it was like 400 trades in our first week. Up late, just trying to get the work done. When it comes to things like drawdowns, and you can see, okay, it's actually fairly normal to have. You might have a drawdown period of say 7, 8, or even 9 hours at some points. But if you haven't done the work and you hit a drawdown, something like that, you're gonna get scared and you're just gonna think it doesn't work and quit at that point without realizing round the corner. At some point, you're gonna get your big win streak, which will clear out that drawdown and a lot more. Yeah, the stats they're crucial to really gaining that confidence. They really are. Your win rate, depending on how you do your risk management, if you're going to do a fixed TP or a trailing stop or whatever it might be. Yeah, it's really important you work on and get those numbers and statistics. Yeah.
It's super important. Having the right mental framework, having the data to help you, all this can help during their drawdown period. So yeah, it's so important. And so let's just talk a little bit about the strategy. We touched on that we use high time frames to help slow things down and stuff like that. But what did you find about the simplicity of the trading approach?
Yeah, it's simple. Like I said, it's 100% mechanical. So it takes, we had one complete session where we completely spoke through it. I think there's a few follow-up questions naturally as there is, but once you've done it for probably a week or 2 weeks, I'd say, especially when you've done a lot of back testing, becomes second nature to what you're looking for. And it was in the first few weeks when I started trading live, when I was coming to you going, oh, is this a good trade? Is that a good trade? And it became very clear very quickly that, you know what, I am looking at the right thing. I am taking the trades as you're taking the trades. We're very much singing from the same hymn sheet. And that comes down to the simplicity of it. There's literally only three pieces of criteria.
Yeah. Brief conditions.
Three conditions. And they are completely mechanical. It is very much like a maths test. You're right or you're wrong. Ultimately, you followed the rules or you didn't follow the rules. So no, it's been really good. It's definitely helped improve in a lot of ways with my trading.
Yeah, literally three rules, three simple mechanical rules. And when you've got it that simple, that mechanical, it reduces hesitation and overthinking. And it also gives you a guideline if you are overthinking, because you know anything outside the rules, if you're thinking of something else, detach, don't you? And that's how it helps with the detachment part of things. All we need to do are two things: follow the plan, manage risk. Then we know exactly what we're doing. Everything else is worries. Brilliant. That's on the strategy side of things. Let's just talk a little bit about what are your future plans going forward. What's next?
Obviously, it's to take everything that I've learned with working with you and to keep working hard, making sure that I just keep doing the exercises that we've done, making sure to not lose my way or anything, but at the same time to continuously look to improve. So you've obviously set me up on a path. You've given me the strategy, you've given me the basic tools to be successful, to be profitable, but it's to go on from here and to keep evolving. So it's always about trying to improve and continuously develop our skills in all ways and shapes and sizes.
Yeah. Brilliant. Love it. And finally, what would you tell anyone unsure about joining?
Yeah, I'd say go for it. Definitely. If you're on the fence, I think I actually came to you maybe about a year and a half before I actually committed to the course for an introduction. And I think at the time, maybe I just wasn't ready, or I was still in that mindset that I'm going to do this alone. I'm going to be able to crack it. I didn't quite get there and I kept hitting roadblocks. And now that we've been through the course, I can reflect and say it was definitely worth it. No, it's been really good. So yeah, definitely go
So
forward.
you wish you'd have done it a year ago.
Yeah, yeah, why not? Yeah, I wish I'd done it
Yeah.
at that time because yeah,
No,
I'd be a lot further on than I am
no.
now. Had I
The
not
main
done
thing
it
is you've
now,
done it.
exactly. If I hadn't
Yeah.
done it now, I think your time comes when your time comes ultimately. I think, and that is when it is for everyone. As long as you stick to it, don't quit. I think that's the most important thing, most important message you can give to anyone, and especially in this field of work. It can just seem never is there light at the end of the tunnel kind of thing. And I think
Yeah, it's
you know,
tough.
that's when, seeking help and guidance is really important.
Yeah, I
So
agree.
yeah, definitely. If you're out there and you're going through what I went through for a couple of years, then yeah, taking this next step is really important.
Brilliant. Yeah. Thanks, Ollie. So yeah, thanks for doing the interview today, mate. I really appreciate taking time out. So thank you for that. And I wish you the best of luck going forward. And yeah, we'll see each other in a month anyway when we do a booster session. But yeah, take care, mate. And thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you soon. Bye bye.
Thank you.